Okay, let me read out this post-it note I have while I couldn't focus at work, right? So, something that came to mind, because this video, of course, is about stress and how that could cause writer's block and also disrupt your creative flow, things like that. So, this is something I wrote down, right? Sometimes, right, no matter how much you hear a life lesson or advice, you won't know how valuable it is until you face a problem that requires that advice to overcome the issue. So yeah, you might be wondering, why am I even saying this? What is the point, right? The obstacle is the way. That's the point. That's the reason. So yeah, I'm just talking about a situation I went through during the week I had at work, because I have a sales job, right? And my job is to really make calls and convince people to take meetings so that they could purchase a product that we're selling. But because I was burnt out and couldn't really focus, I decided, let me just reflect. Like, let me think about why this is the case. So why can't I focus at this time and point? Like, there's been days where, of course, this happens and I'm able to like force myself to like get through the day and survive the week to make it through the weekend. But today, this week in general, honestly, it was very, very difficult. So I was like, you know what? Let me just, instead of working, let's just reflect on what's going on internally and see what's happening inside. So the first thing I want to mention is the importance of reflecting your days as like stress is building up, because that's really what's happening. Like, you might be thinking, damn, like this was a hard day, but I got through it. But actually what's happening is like stress is like slowly building up. It's like this is like, okay, and then there's gonna be that one day it's like it hits its peak and it's like, oh damn, like I'm really stressed out right now. Like I don't know what is going on, how I'm feeling. Like I just don't want to do this right now. I don't want to be here. Like you just hit a boiling point, and this is how people end up having like a emotional reaction and like ending up, suddenly quitting their job or like doing something out of their emotions instead of, well, if they were thinking rationally, they probably wouldn't have done something that they decided to do while they were stressed out in their emotional state. So yeah, that's what I'll say. Like, step one, if you're feeling stressed out, especially if you thinking you have writer's block and is actually a stress that's preventing you from thinking of new ideas for your story, is really just to focus on reflecting on the past few days. What responsibilities were you having and going through? Have you been pushing yourself to, like, maybe let's just go past my bedtime for at least 30 minutes to see if I could write something down for my story, because that's what I was doing. That epically failed. Which, side note, this is why I don't believe in the whole like sacrificing sleep for your dreams or whatever, or to be as optimal or productive as possible. I'll say this: the only time I'll say to sacrifice your sleep is if you're already in a flow state and it's almost time for you to like go to bed so that you be able to wake up refreshed in the morning. Like, the only time I will ignore that is if like I'm already in a flow state, I have ideas coming in, like I will sacrifice sleep at that point in time. It's like, okay, I'm already in a state of highly productive mode, so let me just get this out the way, get my ideas out as it's coming in this particular moment in time, even if it's like 3 a.m. or whatever. Like, if it's time for me to write, then I'm going to write in that time. So yeah, that's the only time I ignore it. But other than that, if it's a case where like I'm just trying to push myself and it's almost like my bedtime and I'm like, okay, let me just try to at least stare at the screen for like 5 minutes and see if I could come up with some ideas before I go to bed. Or I should even say before you go to bed. I should say, honestly, like after those type of scenarios. That's really what I'm talking about, where I believe you should optimize your sleep and get enough sleep. Don't push yourself too much unless you feel inspiration near your bedtime. I think that's the only exception when it comes to sleep. But yeah, so the main point I really am trying to make here is your emotions and what your stress is trying to tell you about your lifestyle and what's going on with your life right now. And one thing I learned about emotion is that I believe, at least, that you shouldn't be ignoring your feelings. I think you should be acknowledging them and seeing what it's trying to tell you, because that's how I feel about emotions. Like, I feel like it's a way for God to like speak to you and signal something going on with you. Like it's kind of a way of showcasing who you are and what's going on with you currently. At least that's how I see it. You let me know how you feel about like emotions in general and feelings, but through viewing it this way, as if God is telling me something about myself through those emotions, through those feelings, that's what leads to me questioning myself and reflecting, asking myself, okay, what's possibly causing the stress? And then I start writing down. And this was the key important factor, is writing. That's why a lot of people talk about journaling, because I think that's the purpose of journaling. Like journaling is really like a healing process to like declutter your mind and get it into paper so that your mind could be clearer. I think the ultimate goal of journaling is just to clear your mind and get all your thoughts out of your mind and into paper. And as you're writing these questions down and maybe coming up with thoughts that what possibly is causing you stress, like I learned that figuring out the issue, like the root cause of the problem, is like literally more than half the solution. Like people be saying is like half of the solution, but I think it's way more. Like it's, and honestly, like instantly as I figure out that like maybe I was like burnt out or mentally exhausted, as that might potentially be a problem, and it's not just like, I don't know, maybe I have like an anxiety disorder or something like that, or trying to self-diagnose myself on some mental issue. Just by me asking myself questions and writing down possible solutions or the possible cause of the problem, like I just instantly felt better, because I was like, okay, now I know that this is what's the problem. I just need to solve this issue, and I know that once I solve that issue, then I will feel a lot better, and I'd be able to conquer this stress or whatever is preventing me from having mental clarity and focus on my story. And I believe the best way to do that is through journaling. And this is how I think about journaling. I wrote this while I was journaling myself. I said, journaling is like removing thoughts out of your mind and bringing it to the physical realm. That's kind of what it is. It's like a philosophical way of saying it, like decluttering your mind, honestly. But yeah, if you feel like you have writer's block, there must be a reason. Like, don't think it's just you can't come up with ideas at all and you're just waiting for inspiration to come. Like, so sometimes, or a lot of times, honestly, it's because of other areas in your life causing you to believe you have writer's block. There's an imbalance in you that's causing you to not be able to think straight, and like I've been saying, think clearly about your story, whether it is stress from work, other responsibilities. Maybe you have to take care of kids, maybe you have to take care of your parents, maybe you have to focus on paying the bills and you're trying to work out with your finances. Maybe it's your physical health, maybe it's your sleep. This could be something else that's misaligned in your life that is causing you to not think clearly about your story, and that's what's causing the writer's block. So try that. Like, try to see what areas of your life needs improvement so that you could focus more on your story. Because if you think about it, right, if you're usually stressed out or have too many responsibilities, you probably don't even have enough time or didn't spend enough time at all during the week to even focus on your story, even sit down to have a writing session. And even if you have, it probably was only for like a few minutes, or maybe during the time you try to sit down and have a writing session, just because you have so much going on in your mind, you couldn't really think straight, or you couldn't really think about your story as much because there's just too much is going on that is not allowing you to enter that creative flow, your imaginary world that you're trying to dive into. So yeah, I hope you find this video helpful at all. Like, whether you're dealing with stress, mental exhaustion, anything to do with responsibilities, or just other things that's occupying your mind and time when you're trying to write out your story. Once you understand that other parts in your area could be affecting your creativity, your imagination, which the more I'm working a job, the more I realize, or I'm starting to see how a person's creativity, their childhood imagination dies. I actually could see how it dies when it comes to adulthood. Because low key, I kind of felt it dying like earlier this week. I was like, damn, I really can't think of nothing. And it was only because I was stressed out about work. So yeah, you let me know your thoughts. You let me know how you feel. You could let me know your situation down below. See if this video helps, what suggestions you may have for others as well. But yeah, what's one way that could relieve stress too? sharing your story with others and they also helping you with the creative process. So you having a brainstorming partner for your story as well. So yeah, if you're interested in doing that with me, you can also click on the video right here, somewhere here or there, and it will show you my consultation calls and how they work in terms of working together, completing your outline, things like that. Whatever you're stuck with, I'll be able to answer your questions. I'll be asking you questions as well. And I noticed that when you're working with someone, it's a lot easier to hit that creative zone, that creative flow state, because it's been working for me a lot and also my clients as well. But yeah, if you're interested, you could click the link down below. But yeah, lastly, don't let the stress, the responsibilities, anything in life make you give up on your dreams of becoming an author, anything along those lines. Because once your dream dies, you're not really living, right? So, yeah, you do have to prioritize some responsibilities, of course, but just don't let your dream die. Make a game plan, do something that will help you optimize your life better so you could be in a better situation so that you be able to write out your story. So yeah, that's really my main advice here. So I hope this helps. Thank you for watching and I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you.